This is the first ever IEEE Career Virtual Fair, as you all know, and we have these sessions every Thursday till October 30th. So we request you to go and register for all these events we are planning to have every Thursday. So there are a lot of great sessions lined up after this today. And also on the October 30th, we have the detailed program agenda, which will enable everybody, whether it's a young professional or it's a mid, senior, experienced, every individual who's trying to scale up in their career. And we have all the Fortune 100 companies and 500 companies participating in this virtual career fair. So welcome you all and thanks for joining today. And I request you to join future sessions as well. Thank you, Dr. Kumudini.
Uh, Thank you, Ram. And without further ado, maybe I'll introduce Shaibu, our expert for the day. Shai, thank you for joining us. And I think all of you know, Shaibu is very well known to the energy community and also is a recognized top voice in LinkedIn supporting young engineers. He helps engineers find the right jobs, help them unlock their career and professional goals, and has over 70,000 followers and subscribers. And it's amazing that he's agreed to conduct this workshop here today and share his insights and a lot of stuff that he's been teaching others as well. So Shaibu is a licensed professional engineer in the states of New Jersey and Illinois. He brings over a decade of combined experience in the fields of electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. He's a senior electrical engineer with Asiona Energy USA Global, which is a global leader in renewable energy. He's also a senior IEEE member and volunteers as the communication lead with the IEEE Young Professionals Climate and Sustainability Subcommittee. Um, Shaibu holds a PV installation professional certificate. He is a professional engineer and also is a leader in energy and environmental design. Has a project management professional certificate from the Project Management Institute. He also volunteers as a contributor to the IEEE Standards Working Group P3 3575 and the CGRE Working Group C 3.25. Shai is a passionate person, and he's very good with renewable energy integration, power system stability, and AI in energy systems. Finally, he also, I think today's talk is all the more special because he helps engineering students and earlier career professionals with resumes, interviews, reviews. He helps with the reviews of the resumes, has mentorship sessions to help them land in their dream jobs. And today's session is going to be about preparing future-ready engineers. So what are those essential skills and networking strategies you need to have to stand out in a career fair? And all of you know that today's fast evolving job market, being future ready means more than just technical skills, right? So it's about knowing how to present yourself, how to connect with the right people. So this is an interactive session, guys. So all of you, please share your questions on the chat, and Shaibu will also be sharing his expertise on this. And without further ado, I hand over the mic to Shai, and really looking forward to hearing from you. So take it on.
Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate the support and the patience that you have. The plan was to join at the right time, and then I had issues of joining wrong meetings. So thank you so much for the introduction too. I'll share my screen and then we will start the interaction. Okay. So once you can see my screen, kindly let me know. Okay. This look.
Yeah, we are able to see it.
You're able to see my screen. Okay, awesome. So Before we start the presentation, I would like to do a, we would like to answer some 3 questions. This is not, there's no right answer or wrong answer. So this is just to keep the group more interactive and seek other people's opinion. So if you can scan the QR code, it will take you to Slido, and then we'll answer those 3 questions. And then we'll also look at the answers that people have to see how things are moving. Yeah. Already I can see 2 participants typing. Great. So I'll read the question I see on my screen, and I'm not sure if it's the same question others are also seeing, but let me start with the first one here. Okay, good. So the first question is, when you think about the next 5 years, do you believe AI and automation will create more engineering jobs or replace them? Great, a lot of people are typing, so scan the QR code. There's no wrong answer, there's no correct answer, but let's see what's going on in all of us, our minds. Okay. Great ideas. Okay. Can you see the answers on your screen as well? If you can't see the answers, okay, I'm gonna change my screen share so that you see the answers.
No, we can see.
You can see the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, that's the first question. Let's go to the next one. So first question, a lot of people are saying create more jobs. And then the second option is replace. So, okay, AI and automation will create more jobs. Good. Next question. Okay, the next question. Have you ever attended a career fair, talked to a recruiter, and later realized you weren't sure what to say or ask? What will you do next? Okay, great. Great. So there's a lot of ideas here. Okay, a lot of people are saying yes. So which means that they have attended a career fair, talked to a recruiter, and then later on they realize they did not know what to say or ask. So that's a fair assessment. Okay, great to know. Now we'll move on to, let's go to the last question. Okay, last question here. Do you feel confident that you could walk into a career fair today and make a strong impression on a recruiter or hiring manager? Great, a lot of people typing. I like the confidence. Somebody said easily. Great. Yes, possibly, maybe, not really 50-50. Okay, not really. I'm anxious. Okay, that's great. All of us, we get anxious. No matter how you have experience, the first time you meet a prospective employer, there is some kind of anxiety. So it's a fair thing to say. Okay, so okay, we will just wrap this one up and then we'll move on to the presentation. I estimate that presentation will take like 30 minutes and then we'll have time for Q&A. Okay, the popular answer here is also yes. Okay, great. So now we'll move on to the next slide, which will be our presentation. Okay. Can you confirm to me you can see my presentation, not the slide?
Yeah, Shabu.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now the first slide of presentation, we'll talk about the universities we have in the US here and then the graduating class of each year. So according to the American Society of Engineering Education and the National Science Foundation, on average, each year US universities award over 100,000 engineering bachelors and then several thousands of masters and PhD degrees. This is very significant. So what we want to know is a lot of people graduate and then they have different mindsets. Others will want to have immediate job. Others will want to divert into continuous education. Whichever path you take is based on personal preference. But if you are graduating large number of people, what is a proportion of that to the available jobs? Obviously, we know that engineers today, we obviously will be the leaders of tomorrow. I have been introduced already, but I want to tell you a bit of story. In 2020, when I had a chance of attending a virtual career fair, and you all remember the lockdown era. There was COVID-19 and no in-person virtual, no in-person career fair. So the only option left was a virtual one, and I made the biggest mistake of just thinking like, okay, this is just going to be a show. But it is not a show. I actually prepared poorly, so which means that I did not prepare at all. I did not prepare well, and I went to the career fair. There were a lot of companies there, a lot of opportunities. Most of the companies you see in the IEEE virtual career fair were also there. So huge opportunities, but I missed out. Actually, I did not get anything out of that career fair. So it's a lesson for me, and so we want to go into this career fair with some kind of preparation, some background of what is going to happen and our expectations. And as at that time, I'm showing this image because a lot of people also told me that, okay, you have a lot of experience working in the power distribution, thermal power generation, and so I was having a bit of confidence of getting a job, but things don't always happen if you prepare poorly. So let's go to the next one. Companies don't just hire skills. That's the first thing we all have to know. Companies don't just hire skills. And students today, I want to say a big thank you. You have learned a lot. Congratulations for those who will be graduating soon. And it is time for you to land your dream job. We have to be optimistic that this will happen. But what do companies look for? Most companies don't just hire skills, but they hire people who can look up to adaptation, who can easily grow within the company or the organization, and who can easily work with other people. So that's teamwork. There obviously there are a lot of other things that companies look out for, but these three are very important. You start you enter a company, maybe entry level or whichever level you start. There's still ways or opportunities to grow. And the more you grow in a company, the more you have more impact within the company. So companies want to hire you, make sure that you are somebody who can stay within the company and then grow with them. Okay. Now, the main topic. This topic I have divided into three parts. So first part is future ready engineers. And the second part is essential skills. The last part is how to network. And career fairs provide opportunities for us to achieve all of this. The questions that we have looked for, there was a question I asked, which is about AI and automation, the impact. And many people said it will create more jobs. Okay, there's a lot of change. You and I seem to be like this guy here. The world is changing so fast, we cannot do anything. We just keep on looking. And no matter what we do, things will change. So now there's technology, automation, artificial intelligence, and then digital transformation. All of these are happening at a fast rate. And the way our forefathers or our parents used to work in 20 years ago or 50 years ago, it's not the same as now. The only option for us is for us to prepare and then for us to learn and then adapt to the change. According to a popular report, McKinsey and Company and IEEE USA Insight, automation could displace about 400 to 800 million jobs globally in the next 5 years. About 370 million workers likely to switch jobs. And then in the US, also 25% of jobs are likely to be disrupted in the next 10 years. So if you look at this, the sum of this is that there could be a potential national security issue. And I remember talking about this to my supervisor at the workplace. We were talking about AI and automation. And the thing about jobs is that when people have job or something to do, they are most likely to be less disruptive or maybe cause chaos in the community. So if AI and automations are good, which is obviously good, but the side effect is that it's also going to cause people switching jobs and then also disruption in the jobs, as we know. So when people have something to do, when your neighbor is having work to do, he or she is less likely to come and attack you if you are the only one working. So this is a national security issue here, but we will look at the positive side of things. Okay, now as future ready engineers, how can we prepare and be ready? Here I know that a lot of people, I am an electrical person, but I know the audience will be a mix of engineers, right? There will be electrical, there will be maybe civil, mechanical, software. So here you can see that we all have some things in common. We do designing, data processing, modeling and simulations. We refine our systems, and then we interpret the outcome of whatever we have been able to design or build. But for engineers, we need to think about technical skills are not the only things that can shield us. Organizations generally look far beyond that. The technical skills or the knowledge base information that we have gotten from our schools are the entry point. I see them as the entry point. You would get an electrical engineering job if you have a degree in electrical engineering. And likewise, every skill that you have been able to acquire will be the input for you to get a job. But once you get a job, there are other things that we need to look far beyond that. And as such, we will talk about essential skills. What are the most critical skills? To better appreciate this question, we need to first of all ask the question, why do companies exist? And also we need to ask another question, and why do companies want to continue to exist? These are two different questions. So you can build a company, but the day that you launch the company is not going to be the end of the company. You want the company to continue to exist. And so we need to also understand that companies do not exist because of jobs. And for me, from my experience and my interaction with hundreds of students, I realized that, or even early career professionals, most people will say, I need a job, I need a job. But think about it, the company doesn't actually care about the desperation of looking for a job. So that's the first thing. Companies do not exist because of job. It is the other way around. The jobs exist because the company exists. So jobs are actually a byproduct of company's existence. If a company wraps up or goes bankrupt, all the employees will be laid off. So this is very true. We need to have this first foundation of how companies work and how they exist. And this point, I was trying to explain to my wife, and the easy way I could explain to her is that think about it like a mother and a child. You cannot have a child without the mother. So that's how the company is. You can't have a job without the company. And it's very important that this career fair is actually not a job fair, it's a career fair. So there's difference between a job and a career. But first of all, we will start from a job and then transition to career. Let's look at the key skills that employers value most. These skills, the skills that employers value most are sometimes underestimated. Most of the times, the engineers, we engineers always download some certain things, and then we think maybe the technical aspect is enough, but that is not enough. Everybody could be trained on how to do some technical stuff, but the soft skill is the most difficult to train. And number one of them is communication. We should be able to communicate clear without ambiguity. And we should be able to communicate confidently, which reduces doubt. And then we should be able to communicate in brief but detail. So here you are brief, but the information is being given out. And then also responsive. This one is the most interesting one for me. Responsive. Responsive, what does it mean? It means that respond to your teammate even if you do not have the answer. And I have seen this one a lot. And in my experience, one thing that our CEO always emphasized was being responsive. Every day being responsive. Imagine somebody sending you a message and then you never respond the whole day. Then the person keep on thinking about it, and then the next day, the person keep on thinking about it. So this doesn't. If you don't respond, it causes workplace friction. It's one of the skills that is underestimated, but very important. How you can do this is by telling the person, I have received your information. I'm still looking into it. I don't have the ready answer, and I will respond to you in the next 24 minutes, 24 hours, or whichever time you think you will get the information. And then the last of them is timely feedback. It's a bit different from this, but they are more related. You have to give a time. So don't over delay. If somebody sends you information, you need to communicate back without over delaying for 3 days, 5 days. And I have seen this one to a lot. People over delay, and then they come back to say, oh, something. Okay. So we have to give a timely feedback. And then if we are fall short, or we should apologize to our colleague or our teammate that this is the reason why maybe you delayed. The second of them is adaptability, right? Adaptability, very important. The environment keep on changing, workplace staff keep on changing, new technology keep on coming in. So we should be people who are open-minded. So open-minded provides the path to adaptability. So for instance, if in the olden days we used to excavate trenches using manpower, like we have a huge maybe axe or maybe a pickaxe, and then we keep on digging. And then there's technology now. You have a machine or a backhoe to come and dig, and then you still want to use the manual power. That's going to take a lot of time and effort. So we should be open-minded. Technology now, we have automation, AI on a fast rise. Are we going to adapt it, or are we going to say, no, I'm still going to stay at where I am and then continue doing what I used to do? Other people will adapt it and then get the skills and the experience, and then you become irrelevant at the workplace. So we can do this by building hybrid skills, being a generalist specialist. So general specialist is a popular term in project management. If you are an engineer, let's say electrical engineer or civil engineer, you don't have to confine yourself to only civil. You need to know that, okay, I'm going to work with a group of people in a team, and then try to get knowledge about, you can't be a specialist in one thing entirely. Nobody, I don't think there's somebody who can say they know 100% of something, but knowing something about everything is better than knowing everything about something. So we can be hybrid in our skills. We should also learn how to network and build our brand, and then blend technical skills with human skills, which I talk on as the first point. Okay, the next one will be number 3, teamwork and collaboration. So teamwork and collaboration is very important. As I mentioned, at the workplace, you would have people who are mechanical, electrical, civil, software, HR, financial department. You would have lawyers or attorneys, and then you have business development, and you have environment, and then many other positions. All of this, you cannot be a master of all of them, but at least having the ability to work with everybody is very important. So the way we deliver projects is that engineering is seen as a concurrent field. No single project is built with only, I would say, like, no single major engineering project is built with only one field. So if you are building a bridge, you will need civil, you will need structural engineers, you will need electrical engineers, you need mechanical. So you need software people to program other stuff. And then you need other people who actually work on the business side of the project itself. And then you need attorneys that will have like knowledge about wherever you're building the project. Is it going to encroach on people's land? Are there going to be potential litigation issues? All of these are very important skills that you need to understand. Once you understand somebody's field, you can easily work with them. The merit of this is that we would reduce errors, we will reduce delays in our project, and then the best of them is that we will be able to reduce misunderstanding. It is true, misunderstanding at the workplaces cannot be entirely eradicated, but it's something that we would be able to reduce. The fourth point is leadership and initiative. What is leadership? There's a difference between leadership and the management, but you have to position yourself as a leader, somebody who is open to help other people. You want to see other people succeed as much as you yourself want to succeed. And this one, you cannot fake it. If you want to help people, they will know that, okay, you are in to help them. And at the workplace, you would see this. You would know that somebody or maybe a teammate is there to help you to succeed. Okay, they will provide you clarity and then direction. And then also you can actually achieve all of this leadership and initiative by providing adequate resources to your teammates and not hiding information that will help other people to be effective. Also, you want to see your team succeed. That's another thing. When a team succeed, the whole company succeed. But if one person is lagging and then the whole team is affected, the whole company is affected. Initiative means that you should be able to do things without being directed all the time. As somebody would say, that don't always look up to babysit. Like, you don't always want people to babysit you. So babysit at the workplace means that all the time somebody has to tell you to do something. Sometimes you have good ideas, and young people have the best of ideas because they are more up to date. They are catching up with every technology that is coming. So for instance, if you have an idea about how to do something very quick and make it more productive, you should be able to bring it up to management or your supervisor and discuss it with them, and then try to carry it on your own and lead the way. Okay, the fifth of them is emotional intelligence. This is important because we are going to work with people. People have problems. All of us, we have problems, personal problems. And so you need to understand human beings, people, how people feel. That's emotional intelligence. First of all, you need to be self-aware. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to know your strength and weakness. So if you know that if you get angry, you start to scatter things around. You start to hit your computers around. And that is maybe your weakness. But what you can do is that if you are somebody who can easily get angry, when you're angry, just walk away from your computer or put your phone somewhere. Don't test, because the outcome of that message is going to be brutal. But let's say within 20 minutes, you might calm down and then you don't want to have any regrets. Self-awareness is important to emotional intelligence. You need to show empathy. Empathy means that try to understand other people's perspective. It's not always your way. People have good ideas. I myself talking, I know we have strong people here, very knowledgeable people who have more knowledge. So you need to open up and listen to others. And then also you also have to be someone who can listen, not only listen, but active listening. So active listening is listening to understand and not just to respond. When you work with people and they are talking, you listen to them, try to understand what they are saying, and then later on you can provide a feedback. But if you are listening and then you are processing a response, then you are going to lose the most important part of the message. Also, we need to be able to celebrate small wins with other people by telling them thank you. Sometimes you see that when you work in a group, all of you could be very stressed. But just looking at your teammate and telling him or her, I think you're doing so good. Thank you for your effort. Some people, it meant a lot to them. I'm telling you, I have worked with many people throughout my career, and I see how thank you can change people's mood. And then when people are happy, they give out their best. So this, if you don't have emotional intelligence of reading people's mood, are they smiling, are they happy, and the rest, you are going to miss out this. This is a skill that I don't think AI can easily replace. So AI will come, or AI is already with us here for a very long time, but now it is being more scale up. But I don't think AI can easily have emotional intelligence to deal with people as human beings. So this is a very good skill to have. Now let's move to the next point, that for this career fair, it is the beginning of a journey, right? And this journey is important. As our career is loading up, each step is important. Every decision that we make today has consequences. We have to be very aware of it, and then we need to plan our career well. Okay, let's look at the last point, which is networking strategies. When you get to a career fair, what you see a lot of people. I have gone for virtual career fair before. I have also gone for in-person career fair, and I have seen the difference. A lot of people, sometimes you even get confused. And then you have a lot of companies. Which company will you go first? But the most important thing is you want to stand out of the crowd. Okay, do you have a list of your top 5? Can we answer this one maybe briefly, like within 1 minute in our chat, and see, do you have the list of your top 5? Let's see if we get an answer, we can get 10 responses from this. So top 5 means that there are a lot of companies coming, maybe 20 companies, 30 companies, but you cannot attend all of them, right? You need to have a top 5. Are we getting some responses? Let's see how.
Yes, Shai. I think there's just one person who said yes, and the others are saying not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good to know. So today is 16th. We still have some 14 days left for the actual event. Try to have your top 5. And this one, when I attended the virtual career fair in 2020, this is the mistake I made. I did not make a list of the top 5. And then when I got to the event, there are a lot of companies that I got confused. Okay, which one should I go first? Which one should I not? And so this can actually disrupt you, and then you could actually be attending a company's one-on-one, that is not relevant to you, right? So for me, I love to work in energy, and then maybe I'll attend a career fair that is into a different field. That's not going to help me. So try to have your top 5 and then research the company very well. Go to their website, read more about the company, and look at the projects that they are currently doing. Look at the technologies that they have. Most important, look at their core values, especially if those are in your field. Look at the core values. There's a company among the list that will be part of the career fair. They always will ask you in an interview about core values. I'm not going to mention the name of the company. So try to know the core values. 5 companies is preferred, but if you can do more, maybe 10, not more than 10, but 5 is okay. And before you join the call, this is important. Just like for me also here, you need to make sure that you have set up your audio, your lighting in the room. This is going to be virtual, so you want to make sure that you have good lighting in the room, and then your webcam is working. You have good internet. Without internet, there's no way you can join the virtual fair. So at least do this before the event. And for you, the top 5 companies, you need to prepare some questions that you would want to ask them. Prepare the points and then questions ahead of time. And so, for instance, if let's say you have company A to E, you know that, okay, company A, these are the questions I'm going to ask them. Company B, they could be the same question. You don't have to prepare 20 questions. Some of the questions will be similar because you have been able to craft down 5 companies that are similar to what you want to do. So the questions will look the same. And then once you are done with that, you need to start number 1 by perfecting your virtual elevator pitch. So this is the introduction. When you meet the hiring manager or the team, how will you talk to them? First, you want to introduce yourself by mentioning your name. You mention the major that you have, the school that you are attending, and then maybe if you're in the final year or the senior year, you mention that. Whichever level you are, you mention. And then what are you actually working on? You can mention some of the key projects, your skills. This scale here, normally I go with the top 5 skills. There are a lot of things that we have learned, but try to have the top 5 of them, skills that are related to the company that you are looking at. So if you are looking at a company that deals with, let's say, protection, power system protection, you want to have some skills in maybe relays, right? You want to have skills in maybe automation. So list some skills, so once you introduce yourself, you are able to mention key project, mention the skill, or maybe if you are also doing some research that is similar to a project that a company is talking is having, you can also mention the research area. And try to look at some of the problems the companies are trying to solve, and then mention some significant progress you have been able to achieve. That's very important. And the last of them, you have to make your intention very clear. Are you looking for internship or mentorship or entry level positions? You have to make all of this within like 1-2 minutes talk, So practice this. If you write this one down and then you practice it, and it's not like you are memorizing it to go and read something to them, but you practice it and okay, the sequence, this is how I'm going to talk to the prospective employer. And nothing beats preparation. There's a popular say that I hear that says that if a fool can always beat or will always pass a distracted genius. So you can be very good, but if you are not prepared and then somebody is not as much as you are, they can still pass you with preparation. Okay, then after you have prepared your introduction, how you need to go to the next step. You need to be able to engage with your employer or the recruiter in a live chat. It's going to be a live chat. Obviously, you would want to have your video on so that the person talking to you can see you live one-on-one, just as if you are in an in-person setting. So you need to show genuine curiosity. And then you can do this by asking specific and meaningful questions. If you attend a career fair and you talk to a company hiring manager, they would know whether you are actually interested or you are it's just like you are doing a Passover. If you are interested in the company, they will know. They read that from your energy level, how you talk, and then the questions you ask. So we want to plan ahead. Ask important questions. You can ask questions like, how would you describe a successful project? Every company is different. Companies describe success in a different way. Others might be looking at how fast they are able to finish the project, or maybe how much the cost they have been able to reduce. And then others will also look at it from the profit. So companies might describe it in different ways. Try to know, okay, what is a successful project to you? And then ask questions like, how does your company integrate maybe something, maybe AI or maybe robotics or maybe sustainability in its engineering projects? Ask questions like that. You can also mention, ask them a question about skills. Usually, it's one of the points I always tell people. If you are in an interview, you want to ask the employer that, what are the skills or things you would advise me so that if I get this job, I can succeed. So what 3 skills make new hires successful? You want to know, and then they will tell you. What you should not do at all. Don't go into a career fairs and ask generic questions like, what does your company do? If you ask a question like, what does your company do? It means that you haven't read at all anything about the company. So that's like, you don't have an interest. You are just like a passover. You are just passing through to just talk and waste time. Don't do this. They have a website. You can read more about them. And if a recruiter or hiring team share resources with you, try to take notes, try to write. And then once you are done, the importance of taking notes is that if you are done with a career fair, it is not done. It's just like an interview. Treat career fair just like an interview. And career fair is the only opportunity you have to do multiple interviews at the same setting or at the same period. Typically, the way we have interviews is you need to apply for a job. The HR has to go through, or a recruiter has to go through your CV before they apply, before they call you up. But career fair is a fairground. I just like the word career fair. It's a fairground. It's a fairground or a playground for everybody. You have opportunity to talk to like 10 companies and to demonstrate yourself. So treat it like an interview. Take notes, and then when you are getting back to them, you can make reference to some of the things that you discuss. Okay, we are almost done. And once you have taken notes, try to follow up within 1 or 2 days. Don't wait till 1 week. If you wait till 1 week or a lot of time, what happens is that when you have interaction with people and you delay for a long period, they might forget. So within 24 to 48 hours, you should be able to respond to the people. And then you can also stay in touch with them by sending them email or message on LinkedIn, whichever one is preferred. And here I put a comment here that consider career fair as an open source interview. I've already talked about that. Because it provides similar opportunities to land a role with your prospective employers. And you can make reference to a specific thing that was discussed in the interaction that you have. What I also prefer, or sometimes what I do in the past, is that when you have an interview, because we are treating career fair similar to an interview, when you are done, try to, if you have any reports or work or project that you have done in the past, if you are responding to the hiring manager via via email or LinkedIn, you can attach the report. So, for instance, let's say you have told them that, okay, I used this software, let's say PVSys. PVSys is a software we use to model solar, right? In solar, so you want to see how much the solar will be able to how much energy the solar plant will be able to provide. So once you model that, you'll be able to do any financial analysis, a lot of things. You can attach a report of that and then send it. It's an evidence of you doing something. So it actually shows that, okay, this person is actually interested. They have done something in the past. And believe me, that's actually worked. The last point is that maintain connection, right? Virtual career fairs shouldn't just end once the event is completed. No, you can follow up with people, and people cherish long-term relationship, not a one-time. How you can do this is that almost all professionals are on LinkedIn. So what you can do is connect with people on LinkedIn, or maybe follow the company that you are looking at. Try to like some of their posts, try to comment, and then share their posts. So this actually provides visibility into, once you comment and share, you begin to see more of the company's posts and then things they do, and then you'll be able to follow up. Think long term. Today's recruiter might be your tomorrow's colleague, mentor, or hiring manager. So you want to keep connections, not just at the event, but on a continuous basis. Lastly, I'll say thank you to IEEE Career Fair, the Industry Management Committee, and all of you for attending this event. So let's go for your shine. It's your time now. Any questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shai. And I think you addressed some very important aspects of, how to prepare and how to present yourself in a career fair. And there are a couple of questions that we have as well. So from Sahiti, there is a question, how to best position your interest or passion in the company and the work that they do, even if you don't have the direct skills or background, and but you want to pivot in that industry. So, you were talking about the elevator pitch. So
Yeah.
are there any suggestions that you could provide?
Okay, that's a very great, very great question. So there might be a company or an employer that is doing something, you have interest in something that they are doing, but you don't have the immediate skills. I have a personal experience with this scenario. When I first came to the US, and one of my colleague, very good friend, he told me, he was my classmate, and he told me that, okay, people who graduate in this particular field, he tried to inform me like, okay, there's difficulty in getting jobs. So now, if you know that there's a particular skill that you are lacking, what you can do is that right now we have a lot of resource online. You can pick up a training course, right? The training course could be, I don't want to mention companies, but there are a lot of training courses on Udemy, Coursera, or other places that you can pick similar course. And then once you do the training and then you go for the interview, you can tell the hiring manager that I don't have practical experience in using this software. Let's say ETAP. ETAP is power system software. But I did a training, 10-hour training course, right? And I have built a student project. So once you are doing a training, you can do a student course, like you can model a project, and then once you are done, that's what I mentioned in the previous. Once you are done, you can attach the sample of the report as an evidence. It shows that, yeah, you did this. You don't have the ready skill, but you have done something about it. And companies are always open to train you. So far as I know, every company you join, they will not say, okay, start day one. They will always give you room to grow. They will give you some training. So I think that's what you have to do.
Thank you so much. And I think that is so relevant, right? And since you were also mentioning in LinkedIn, I think the biggest benefit probably is also you can tag the people that you met and thank them personally. So that kind of also engages with them, with the organizations as well. So I think that's going to be a good way to connect with them and continue the relationship post the event as well. We have another question from Kylie. When doing efforts outside of a job search, such as volunteering or creating your own technical skill-based projects, how someone somehow comes up in the networking conversation. So, what would be the best way to present them while showing your interest and focus in finding your next job and taking the next step? So, I guess Kylie wants to know that she has done other projects that are not part of her course curriculum and so on, and she would like to know how to introduce those in conversations. Your
Yeah,
inputs on that.
correct. So once this is very great too. Uh, employers, as far as I know, love people who want to do more than the bare minimum. So the bare minimum is everyone doing the same thing, and then you have been able to volunteer in IEEE. You have been able to also take up some courses beside what you have done in the class. And this, in the past, in when I was doing my graduate studies, I did take courses, training courses, even some from India, because I did. They have like very good courses, and I look at their price to the price is less than doing the actual training in the US. So I paid for them. I did like Siemens, you know the company Siemens. I did their protection, Protect 5 and 4. I did other trainings, right? And then once every employer sees that, they say, okay, you have done something more than your graduate course. Like the graduate course, everybody's doing it, but you have been able to do something extra. So it's you can introduce that one to the prospective employer that beside your courses in class, you have been able to take up these courses here because you looked into the future to grow in those areas. And I think it's going to go well with you.
Thank you for that. And there's a question from Akanksha, and
Yeah.
she's asking when we reach out to people on LinkedIn for referrals, like how do you approach that conversation to ask for referrals on LinkedIn?
Okay. Yeah. People reaching out on people on LinkedIn without having any connection with them sometimes it doesn't go well because people don't like to be spammed with messages. And so, how you would do this to connect with people is first of all, look at something they have posted about. Maybe they have posted something for the past 1 week or 2 weeks, right? And then you want to talk about that post that, okay, I saw you write a post about this, and I see that you are more interested in this thing, and then ask a question about that. Once you ask a question, the person has a high likelihood of responding to the question. And then also try to like the post because there's this like the emotional intelligence. If you like people, they will like you back. You cannot that thing just work. Try to like something that they are doing. I'm not saying that like every post they have posted, but try to like something they have posted or maybe make a comment and then come back to test them, ask them the question, and then they respond. And then maybe you will try to ask something about their company too. Oh, maybe I saw that your company, you are working on this project. Um, then the person will talk about it. Once you have response like 2, 3 times, then you can begin to talk about personal things because I receive a lot of messages. People say I need a job, and then I don't even know the person. Then I say, oh, you need a job. It doesn't work like that, you know. So try with that. Start from somewhere, build a connection, genuine one, and then later on you ask.
Thanks. And I have a personal question, and I think the audience would really like to hear about this because I had the chance to look at your LinkedIn as well and also your website. And you have been very consistently posting information, the work that you've been doing, both at IEEE and at your work. So maybe you can share some insights on that, because I think that is also a very important thing, right? Like, how do you position yourself? How do you showcase yourself? Especially in this present day and age with things changing so much. So maybe you could share your own experience and how that has helped you with your jobs in the past as well. And I think that can be an inspiration for the audience, if you could just share.
Yes, okay. I think that's a very good one. And yeah, I think I do get questions, similar ones on that. So how I do that is, first of all, my mindset in the first place is from my experience, like coming into the US, and then trying to get a job, difficulties I have gone through, and the challenges I've gone through, applying jobs like 100 applications, and then I keep a diary where I write every job I apply. I put the time I submitted. So I put like 9 p.m., some of them 3 a.m. And then just sometimes I take it and it's funny to me. Like, so I look at that kind of thing and I see that a lot of people also go through the same thing, applying jobs. And I realize, no, you don't have to apply for jobs. In sincerity, don't apply jobs. And if you apply jobs and look desperate for looking for companies, they don't actually reciprocate that same energy. So what I started to do is to create content in the area of industry I want to work in. And the way you create content is the mindset of helping other people. So other people might have difficulty in getting resources and the rest, and you want to provide some resource to them to learn. And once you have that, you need to have that genuine sense of helping people, because sometimes it's difficult for me. Like, I'm working full time, I have a family with 3 kids, I have to pay attention to them, and I have a website, I need to write posts, I need to do IEEE things. It's a whole lot. So, but I take the motivation that maybe my message will help someone. And I'm not looking up to help everybody, but if I can help maybe one person get a job, I'm happy. And one of my happiest moments when one person I helped mentor the person, and then he got a job. He was applying for jobs and not getting. I told him, don't apply, do this. And then he got 2 jobs at the same time, some of them giving him huge sign-on bonus. And I said, look, me, I have I have not gotten a sign-on bonus yet. But it was good. The excitement of seeing other people succeed, other people getting it, is what keeps me going. And the last thing I would say, that just look at what the struggle people are having, and provide genuine help. It's just like the way IEEE work. IEEE is a non-profit, and the main purpose is just to help humanity with technology. So it's the same mindset, help other people. And one thing also, the last thing I'll say about that is, even one interview I did, I realized that the employer really love how I help other people, right? And they just like it. So it just, okay, I'll keep on doing it. So help other people. No company will have a problem for seeing you help other people.
I think your thoughts are also, echoed by Jacob, who said that he also follows this give first model, where you genuinely show that you want to provide value to people and they'll notice that and be more warm towards you. But he also had one question. He asked for advice for balancing professional growth with helping those around you. I mean, one of the biggest challenges I feel like as IEEE members, you tend to also do a lot of voluntary work, but where do you draw the line? How do you ensure this work-life balance? You were also talking about, having a family, 3 kids, and work and career and everything else. So how do you balance this? And yeah, and
Yeah. Okay. Is that other question? Maybe I can respond to that one.
yes, please. So how do you
Yeah.
balance professional growth with helping others?
Yeah. So I think this is also very important. And last time, one of my colleagues called me and he told me that he doesn't understand how I work. I have, he sees that I have a family, I have this, but why, how am I able to do all this? And I'm able to write FEPE, get my professional license. So he just said, okay, it's a motivation to him. But how I'm able to do this is, first of all, by planning it. I try to write everything I do. And so I'm not in a rush to get everything like today or tomorrow. Once you have a plan, and then you are able to, it reduces pressure from you. Because if one of my mentor advised me that don't solve all your problems at the same time, because I used to do that. I want to do this, I want to do this, and I'm thinking too much. Then he said, no, take your time, solve each one of them one at a time. So it's a big lesson for me. So I see, okay, I want to volunteer in IEEE. I want to also work. I want to help other people. I got my PE. I want to help other people get my PE. So I plan all of it ahead, and then I do each one after the other. So that way, I don't feel overwhelmed. Because if you want to do everything at the same time, then that will confuse you more. I think that's the only way you can balance it. Because you have your work, you need to make sure that you are working, and you don't want your work to be disrupted by the things you do outside, right? So you can balance that by thinking about it in a plan way, space it up, right? So you want to write a post. So how, maybe you can say, I'll write one post in a whole of 1 week. That's not going to take a lot of time, right? But if you want to write 10 posts at the same time, maybe for the same day, the same 2, 3 days, it's going to get tiring. And you can be discouraged because it's tiring.
Maybe to add to what you were saying, I think when we are young, we always tend to overestimate what we can do in a short time, but underestimate what we can do in a long time. Uh, so, planning well ahead and, doing those small incremental changes can reap big rewards. I think we have a shortage of time. I mean, it has been an amazing session right now. Maybe I also want to ask the fellow panelists if they want to share maybe one advice that they would give to the audience today in terms of how they should network and how they should prepare themselves. To some of the others who have asked questions, we will be sharing these questions with Shaibu, and we will be sharing the information with you very shortly. So maybe Ram, you could go first, and then we'll each of us probably share one bit of advice, and then we will call it a day.
So usually what I do or what I like when I'm interviewing the candidates for my team or when I do the interaction, right? So everybody does their job for sure, but also like whatever it is your passion or your interest along with the work, you are learning something new. You are scaling up or upskilling yourself on the latest trends, or you have done a very small piece of work on that. Please do share it and use that information as the icebreaker, whether it's virtual, online, or in-person communication. Use that as an icebreaker and like share that like you are something you are doing extra than like everybody do, right? So that takes you to miles. Thank you.
Thank you. And Shaibu, one word of advice, maybe.
One last advice I would say is to have the sense of optimism, and then have a belief in yourself. I know this is like a very difficult time, especially in terms of jobs. Um, Jobs are impacted by how the economy does. If the economy is doing well, there's more likelihood of getting opportunities. So I would say like this is a very big opportunity for you. Prepare as much as you can. Get to the top 5 companies that you want to work in. Don't underestimate anything, because sometimes we underestimate and then we think we can easily get a job. And I mentioned it earlier on. When a lot of people told me that I have experience, I'll get it easy. And I realized I was applying more than 100 jobs and not getting a job. So don't underestimate anything. Take every step serious. IEEE Career Fair is a big opportunity for you to have multiple interviews at the same event. So all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much. Maybe to just summarize, it's been an absolutely wonderful session, and we also hear that from our audience as well. Maybe a piece of advice from me would be, in fact, this was something that I experienced in the past. We came across something called as a failure resume. I know all of us talk about, what we do best, and that's what we put into our resume. So even if you're not sharing it with potential companies, it might help for you to kind of build a failure resume for yourself and start putting what you learned from that. Because that kind of builds your resilience and it also builds your empathy. Um, so sometimes, going about it like this is called reverse engineering the process as well. Even that helps. So all the very best. We also have a few more workshops that are lined up for you. We have two of them to next week. Um, so please make the most of this. I think the entire organizing team has been working tirelessly to ensure that you have a great career fair. You find the right job, the internships that you're looking for. And thank you, Shaibu, for this amazing session. And thank you, Ram, for being there with us today as well. And all the very best to the audience and wish you all a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.